Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm joined by Bruce,
Hi.
the Plunder Patrol expert. Many of you guys have asked for a Plunder Patrol guide, and we are here to provide that for you guys.
Yep.
We are going to talk about main deck, extra deck, theory crafting. We're going to show Bruce's brand new deck list off to prepare you for the format after Rise of the Duelist.
Yep.
And yeah, we're going to give you some helpful tips and tricks on how to play the deck. Unlike the Emancipator guide, we cannot show you combos because there is really no combo. You make Blackbird, that's it. But we are going to go a little bit deeper into matchups, stuff like that, and we're going to talk about how to play a Plunder, how to play it out, and hopefully teach you guys how to play the deck as well.
Yep.
Right? So let's go into the deck.
Okay, hi guys, Bruce here, indeed, with a little bit of Plunder Patrol information for you guys. First of all, I will go a bit over the deck list I'm currently playing and what's the theory behind it, and how I think certain card choices were made, and finally coming up with this. So I will start with the main deck.
This is the deck list that you are playing right now?
Yes, this is
locals.
Yes, this is what I'm currently playing with. Given that the Numeron stuff is out and the Rise of the Duelist coming up, that's indeed what I'm running with right now. So starting off, I play 3 of every Plunder monster. The main reason for this concept is I want to be able to not rely on my opponent for giving me the right attributes. So I want to be able to either hard summon Morg if I want to, hard summon Bren if I want to, hard summon Liz if I want to. And for that reason you need to have these names, in my personal opinion, to max out, so you can do that most frequently. Also another thing with Saxel being in this format, like the deck, of course it's really annoying when you get Saxel, but you don't really immediately lose to the card if you have any of these 6 openers, because you can just accept that Saxel is resolved, think normals, summon like either one of these 6 and just
tag out. Yeah,
tag out for Liz, and you just start playing on your opponent's turn, which is really one of the biggest strengths of this deck, is that you can make advantage on your turn as well as on your opponent's turn. So that's why I also will, in the technical play stuff, will let you know that I will always play around Nibiru, because I think it's more valuable to do 4 summons in your turn and 4 summons in their turn, instead of just doing 8 in your turn and getting Nibiru.
Yeah. That's one of the strengths of this deck.
Yeah.
You just you can play around Nibiru so easy.
Yes.
So your list will be focusing not on comboing off like some other lists are.
Nope.
Because there's really no reason this deck should do that.
No, exactly, and you will see in like the quote-unquote tech cards I play that it's not so much about extending the deck, because I've noticed that even if you play those extenders, your board will not like immediately like end on so much more. It's not like you're gonna end, because you play certain cards, you're gonna end on like Blackbeard, Drake-Eyed Dweller or something. You know, you're probably just gonna summon a Blackbeard and maybe you get a Redbeard next to it, and that's fine, but like those extenders will not get you as much as like for like example a deck like Emancipator. If you want to play combo, do needle fiber shenanigans, this deck can do it, but like Emancipator is a better deck, and that's
something that we both really agree on. People are always pushing this deck harder than it needs to be pushed.
Yes.
If you want to play a combo deck, play Emancipator. If you want to play Plunder, then this deck is insane.
Yeah. So for the spells, the field spell, best search card in the deck, boosts up your guys, makes sure you can always beat over stuff. Triple of the fusion and 2 of emblem. So 2 of emblem and 3 of the fusion spell. The reasoning behind this is, like I said, with the monsters, I want to be able to dictate for myself when I can get a certain extra deck monster out. Bren and Morg are like easier accessible because they are just made with monsters. Bren you cannot always summon by those means. Sorry, I'm not brand lies.
Bliss.
Yeah, lies. Sorry,
Because it's a fusion. Yeah.
because it's a fusion, so you need a fusion spell. And besides that, it's just one of the other. Like, it's the best discard after like the monsters, in my opinion, because it allows for extending plays with emblem or making sure that you can actually like make from like Redbeard and Bluebeard, which are your worst Plunder Patrol monsters, that you can just equip Whitebeard, your best, out of your deck. So it allows also more access to your better Plunder Patrol monsters.
Yeah.
Only 2 of emblem. Reason behind it is like I think it's a good card, but not that necessary to play as a 3-of. Like I mostly use it more or less for the targeting prevention, making sure that you do not immediately lose to a standby phase impermanence or on your Blackbeard or something like that. The boost is nice and it can come up. But there's really value for hard summoning your extra deck monsters, and Emblem just does not do that.
It's also, like next to Booty, the only Plunder Patrol card in the deck that doesn't have anything in the graveyard.
Yes, so it's also not a really good discard, while this deck really works a lot on discarding your cards and then gaining extra value out of them through their graveyard effects.
Like shippable.
Yes. So this is for the Plunder spells. Terraforming is a Plunder spell.
Terraforming is a Plunder spell, yeah.
And then for the last Plunder card is Triple Booty.
Yeah.
This is like the only card that allows you to freely manipulate the extra deck or the attributes. So I think this card is mandatory to play it. This gets your deck going. It allows you to just dictate the pace of the game in a sense. So
yeah, this card is insane.
Yeah.
It is honestly the best card in the deck. Without this card, this deck would not exist.
No.
It's the final battle of the...
Yes, this is...
Yeah.
So...
And as you said earlier, the reason why it's so important to hard summon the monsters sometimes
is
because Booty can summon the hard summoned monsters back, not the monster summoned by tagging out.
Yes. So this card becomes more insane if you... Later in the game, if you have more resources made and you actually made those extra deck monsters properly.
Yeah.
So that's for the Plunder Patrol main cards I play. That's 24. And then I will talk about these 4 cards, and they are like just for consistency reasons. They are here. That's 3 Palace Desires and an Upstart Goblin.
Yeah.
Like for the ships to have their effects, you need to be able to discard a plunder card from your hand, meaning you will actually effectively play with a card less in your hand. You cannot just, even though you see 3 plunder cards there, you actually have to see them as 2 because you know you have to get one in your hand during their opponent's turn to make sure you can play and have interaction then. So Desires is really good in that sense that it allows for extra hand advantage. So a card in Rise of the Duelist that just came out and can really help with this is, of course, the Triple Tactics Talent.
Yeah, Triple Tactical Talent.
So that's it. TTT, I'm gonna call it from now on because I always swap
over.
over.
So difficult, yeah.
But that card is just really versatile, and this deck really needs advantage on the hand to be able to make sure that you have interaction.
All these cards, all the plunder cards, are really, really good, but they're not unfair.
No.
They're all really, really fair and really, really mundane.
Yes.
They do their job excellent, and the deck works very efficiently, and definitely being able to play Desires helps so much.
Yep.
The card is really, really good for this deck.
Yes. And then for the last 12 spots, these are like your flag spots. You can just swap these around to your more personal preference, but I will mainly stick these to hand traps. And for the hand traps I'm playing right now, it's 3 Phantasme, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash, and 3 Ogre. Although I really see that Impermanence and Gamma are really strong hand traps in this format. The way the deck works is also by making sure you can filter through your hand during your opponent's turn while still having a field, meaning that if you, for example, use Blackbeard effect, draw a card, I want that card to have value. I want it to be able to know that it will interact with my opponent that turn, and that these hand traps are, in my opinion, the best cards, hand traps right now that are immediately activatable, so to say.
Yeah, if you have a Blackbeard and you draw a Gamma, it's not really that good.
No, not that good, not with Impermanence, but these 12 allow me so I can draw one of them and get value out of that.
Yeah.
So that's reasoning behind that. So all in all, like from Blackbeard, we want to see like 90% of our deck, because like either a Plunder card is good because we summoned an extra leg monster, so which needed a Plunder card to discard anyway, so Plunder card is good, or any of these 12 is good. Like there are only 5 cards in the deck that will not get you immediate event touch on that, and that's the Desire, here's the Upstart, and the Terraforming. Those will not immediately do something for you at that. So like this whole pile is good to draw off Blackbeard.
Yeah, it's insane. Such a good philosophy. I like it.
So yeah, that's the main deck. Phantasma is also like in coherency what I said with Polar Desire. You're just being able to actually it's a +1, but it also molds your hand, so it's like in the same philosophy as that. So that's why Phantasma is still in the main deck, even though the Zexal package does not make use of this card.
You cannot play through a Zexal board with that Phantasma.
No.
But in all honesty, in like our testing environment and our locals and the places we go to, there's not that much Numeron. And I agree with you that Phantasma is just insane.
Yeah.
Phantasma in the room in your deck, it feels so safe.
Yeah, because like it also gives you a body on field, which means that making Blackbeard becomes so much more easier, because you can just normal summon a monster, a Plunder monster, and your engine is basically live from that point.
Yeah.
So for the extra deck, triple Blackbeard. This card is honestly insane. I would not see why you would play less than 3 of this. Like there's no reason. So this card is so good. Just in sheer card economy, this card gives, each time you resolve its effect is a +2, because like this one card turns itself into an extra card on field, being the extra leg monster and the card on hand. So each time you use this effect is just blowout.
Yeah, super strong.
So I would never like consider even playing less than 3 of this card. And especially if you can, like it will not always come in that situation, but if you can make use of his effect to target another monster, so like his effect is just so loopable at that point. You gain +2 on your opponent's turn, +2 on your own turn, +2 on your opponent's turn, and like you just win by sheer card advantage you have at that point.
Yeah. There are scenarios that you do not have the white or Blackbeard, and
No.
you can just do the look or the Bluebeard, and then that's the same.
Yeah.
So good.
So next, Triple Eyes. Reason for this is watching at the format, it's just really light heavy. Like Eldritch is a thing, Numeron is a thing, the new Dogmatica stuff are all lights is also a thing, and then even like outside from those decks, like the hand traps that are being played right now, like Nibiru, Ogre is really good right now, Gamma is really good right now, all lights. So I think like in this format and time, lights is just the best plunge ship. It also is like the most versatile in my opinion, where the other ships are mostly for removal purposes. This card can be interruption, but it can also be an extender.
Yeah, that's insane. Summon Blackbeard, make a list summon Blackbeard back. It's so much card.
Yeah, or like something else. Like you can just like because like this doesn't have to special summon from the spell trap zone, but it can also special summon from the hand. So if you have a white beard or a red beard that's still in and you can just special summon that during the opponent's turn for extra interruption.
I didn't know that. Can you summon from hand?
Yes, you can summon from hand.
Oh wow. I did not know that. This card is really good. Oh wow. Would you
Yeah.
look at that?
Yeah. Another reason why Liz is like a really good, one of the best, I think, after Blackbeard, is a real vulnerable part about this deck is that Ash can really hurt this deck because it can negate the effects of the ships. Liz has this kind of neat interaction where if she doesn't have an equipped card to herself, she will not search. Meaning that if you play around it in a smart way, you can make sure that Liz is a guaranteed monster negate that doesn't lose to Ash like the other ships.
Yeah, like a nightmare.
Yeah, so she just works like a nightmare in that sense. So for those reasons, Liz is like the next best card in your extra deck, and that's why we play 3 of Liz. Yeah. Only 2 more. This format, it's just not really dark heavy. Like there are also not in the hand traps that are being played. Dark's also not a really relevant attribute for that, so Murk is just like not in a lesser capacity for that reason. But he's still one of your main interruptive plays, like banishing a monster, so then adding a spell or trap from that is just really good. Most decks have a hard time dealing with that, and the Dingirsu effect that you protect your cards when
they get destroyed.
When they would get destroyed. It's just real good in that sense.
It comes up so much.
Yes. So, but yeah, only 2 for that, because also, like I said, like it's relatively easy to get into if you're just playing the deck and making summoning monsters as you go along. Bran, also at 2. Ash is still a relevant hand trap in the format, so this will come up. Yeah, and it just makes the control matchups so much easier to be able to just constantly shoot away their back row and making sure that you keep adding monsters of that so you can maintain your board presence. So that's really good.
Also a reminder that if you ever need more, then Booty can shuffle them back.
Yep, that's also something that Booty can do. So that's it for the ships.
Yeah.
10 in total, and the next couple cards I will show you are like more for utility. These are also more for preference than more like solid theory behind them. Except for this card, like I think you should always play Elm Mirage to make Golden Hair the 1.5 card Blackbeard. So making sure that you can, of low card resources, you can get your engine started. Yeah, it should always be in the extra deck in my opinion. Unless we get a better substitute for this.
Think one. Please,
Konami. Cerberus. This is just for the scenario that I do Nibiru on my opponent on a large field and I cannot get rid of the token.
This deck cannot add Nibiru tokens.
Nope. Murk can only target monster effects, and according to the rulebook, tokens are not monster effects. So we need another way to get rid of that strong token. So Cerberus is in the extra deck for that reason.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Same philosophy, also kind of like that, is Emancipator, the Risen Dragite, can also out annoying stuff, like a large Nibiru token. But also, like, your decks will always have Waters in the Grave, and the deck in itself does not have a spell trap negation. It has spell trap removal, but no negation. So this adds a lot to the deck for that reason. And then the last 2 cards I play that I'm not really a huge fan of, but like I'm testing this out given that the new Dogmatica stuff is out, are Bahamut Toad. Reason for this is like that with the new Maximus that comes out, they will rip cards out of your extra deck, and in this way you can always choose to send the Toad, use the effect of the Toad to shuffle it back, so you actually like make sure that you don't have to give up much of the utility that's in the extra deck to that card effect. And you can still make it like, it's not like Toad is a bad card or something.
No, exactly.
I'm not like too keen on the Bahamut Shark because like it loses to a lot of hand tricks that are being played in the format. Gamma, Impermanence, Wave.
You don't focus on this.
You don't focus.
Blackbird is more important.
But yes, exactly. But like, if you can get this is neat. That's nice. But like, I don't focus around it. So that would be it for the deck that I'm playing right now.
Yep.
So I can show you a bit of the side deck, but it's like really dependent on how your local meta is and what the meta is even going to become like. But like,
exactly.
Card that I'm playing right now is, I will go through this fast, is the Fox with the barrier statue. This is just a real good way to against the Neil Fiber decks to make sure that your engine gets going on their turn already. And if it's against Emancipator, I would also side this in.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what the Gizmek card does, when your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon the Gizmek from your hand, and then you can special summon a monster with the same attack and defense from your deck and the same attribute as the monster your opponent summoned.
Yes.
So that summons Whitebeard, Blackbeard, right?
Redbeard. Redbeard is the one with the same attack value as his defense value. It's both 1,000, so you can always summon that of it.
So you can summon this in your opponent's first turn to interact, or you can summon the barrier statue of the Torrent.
Yep.
And then your opponent can only summon water monsters.
Yep. So that's there for that reason. Pancratops, just an amazing card. Also a bit like more theory about that. Like, although like Pancratops is really great. I play Kaijus in the side right now. This is also a bit in preparation for Dragoon of the Red Eyes, or
Dragoon,
Dragoon that's coming out. Kaijus are just good, solid, just from like any standpoint.
Exactly.
But these ones are the best in my opinion because they attribute. Yes.
Yeah, I saw it. It was cute.
Yeah.
Light, fire, dark. Nice. You know your deck.
Yep. So that's it for the monsters.
The last one off.
Spells, Triple Twin Twister. I value this over Cosmic Cyclone. I don't think the Eldritch matchup is that unfavored. Like, it's actually, I think it's really favored for the Plunder deck.
I agree. Yeah.
So I think I just want to actually play a card that just has more impact. So I want to be able to get rid of 2 cards and also discard a card to make sure I can get the graveyard effect. It's just all around better. And then for going first, 3 of Solemn Judgment. This is just all around. When I know I go first, it's good versus everything. And it allows, because I don't know really what people are gonna side in against this deck, because like normally they are not really like preparing their deck to beat Plunder. Like, it's not that relevant in the meta. Yeah. So you can just about expect anything, because they probably don't know really what your deck does, and that like probably gonna side in some wacky cards that suddenly can be good. Like I've been dark rooted once, and it was like, but I only have 1 monster. But like it was correct in that scenario. Yeah. So like just making sure that you have answers to like anything is nice. So that's why that's there, and 1 Imperial Order, just the blowout card. When not hitting your main engine too much.
Yeah, people commented on your earlier deck profile that it would negate the effect to boost the ships with Shipyard.
Yep.
But the philosophy behind it is that the card will hit the other deck more than your deck. If you're playing against a Sky Striker deck, then the 1,000 extra attack doesn't matter because your opponent cannot play anyway.
Yes. So other cards that also have been like really like have been a discussed topic is Callbite Grave, and I have a certain opinion about that card. Why I'm not playing it. Like, just from like reading these cards, you should understand that your opponent's field and your opponent's graveyard are actually resources to you. So you should also see a card that removes card from your resource pool, so to say, is not like really the card you want to play. Although I do, of course, see that Ash Blossom can be very strong at times. I think it's not enough to make sure that you can play Call By, which is just, in my opinion, also an iffy card in this format. Like, it's only good versus a couple of decks. So yeah, it's also like another card to add to the list that you would not want to draw off Blackbeard during your opponent's turn. It's just is not really worth it in that sense. Yeah. And the hand traps that are being played right now are mostly Gamma and Impermanence, which also is not...
Exactly. And even if your monster get ashed, you still trade. You discard a card and they discard a card. And if you play Call By, then you still trade.
Yeah.
Because you then use 2 cards, and then you get 1 card back.
Yeah.
Then your opponent loses a card. So it doesn't matter. So in card advantage wise...
It doesn't really get you a lot. And...
No, it sucks. If you have to use the effect and it has to resolve, otherwise you lose, then of course it sucks. But I agree with you.
That scenario comes up way less than Ash not actually mattering too much, because like this deck is also like more of a mid-range deck, so you would try to win by card advantage, and in my opinion, like that Ash will probably do less than the hand traps I play versus my opponents, because like I said, like I'm playing 4 summons on my turn, 4 summons on your turn, but I also do that with the effects. I use 4 effects on my turn, 4 effects on your turn. So meaning I will, if you negate one of those, that's annoying, but I will probably do it again during your turn. So you're not really gaining that much, when me ashing one of your key plays probably hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a card I want to talk about. But in that same philosophy, like the graveyard, seeing that as a resource is also why Pancratops is like a good card in that sense, because it allows you to beat over stuff and get rid of stuff. But it doesn't really take away a resource from you, because the monster is still in the graveyard or on the field, so you still be able to play with it. Like that's also it's not inside right now, but like I prefer Lightning Storm over a card like Evening Match, because Evening Match gets rid of so much resources from you,
and you start the game with nothing.
Yeah. So I think in that sense you always want to be looking at those cards in those ways. As for like cards you could consider, like I have a whole pile of cards here that are just
there's an entire deck right here.
Yeah, there's an entire deck. Like I just want to have access to all the cards that just might be good in Plunder. So
we'll go over them
a bit. Like I will go fast. Like the Celine play I was playing earlier. Nightmares are just generally good for removal and discarding purposes. There's the access code that goes along with this package. Dreller is really good given certain matchups. Like Dinosaurs is just really a blowout against it, and it boosts your cards, like it's really good. Kushka is in here. These are extra copies of that, so that's pretty rare.
Yeah, extra copies of Brandon.
In case I want to play a third, so that's a bit like cards I have for the extra, like that you could consider. This is basically a huge pile of hand traps, and some Parallel Exceed and Silent Angler cards you can play. Yeah, more disruptive plays for your opponent. Dangerous, like I don't really think they're that amazing in the deck, because they make like it loses your hand size for something that gives an extender that probably doesn't give you that much anyway, and can like clog in the sense that Golden Hair and Whitebeard give you restrictions. So
this deck works so good, and especially with the philosophy like the Blackbeard can draw 5 cards that are bad and like 35 that are good. I definitely agree. Like, just don't play the extenders. There's no reason to play the extenders. You're not gonna do more. You're just focus on the Blackbeard and the effect. Get your deck going. Don't make Hulk summon Olion and then do honors. No, there's no use for that.
No, enough. Yeah, these are just also like staples. Like Card Distraction is cute, I guess, given that it can reset your hand and gets resources in the graveyard on the first turn. But like the -1, and it's a scary card. Like I don't know. A lot can go wrong with this card. Lightning Storms, like I said, Slumbers. Mine is really cute interaction, which I will go over for Super Poly. Like just generic, more side cards. Metaverse is the card I'm looking for. This is also a card I considered playing a while. More Floodgates, White Howling against Spell.
If it has its engine going, you can play with 1 or 2 summons.
Yeah, like summon limit, Rifle Reef, everything is Fiend, so if this card becomes relevant in a format again, that's nice. Even the Inkays and Burns. So like some of the extra cards like I want to talk about in that sense are the Mystic Mind Metaverse combo. It's just like if Metaverse is if Mystic Mind is just really good against a certain deck, like you can just like play these 2 cards in your deck and make sure that you have a bit easier matchup against those decks. And it's also really good Metaverse because it allows you to also add a field spell from your deck to your hand, so you don't have to activate it certainly. So this card can also be like a discard for your Plunder ships.
That's my favorite philosophy.
Yeah,
I love that. Like,
yeah, it can be like
you don't have a Plunder Patrol card in your hand. Metaverse at Shipyard affects Plunder monster. It's so cute.
Yeah, so it can be like either a consistency card or like a real trap. So that's a bit of a reason behind that.
I love that.
This is a card I considered when Zexal was announced. That we would get that whole stuff and like because like this card, for those who don't know what does it, I will read it out for you. The first effect doesn't really matter because that like this card will not stay on the field for that. If your Plunder Patrol monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, draw 1 card. Will not happen.
Yeah.
If you control a Plunder Patrol monster, you can send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard. Active one of the following effects. 1. Your opponent draws 1 card, look at their hand, send 1 monster from their hand to the graveyard. So it's like in Archetype Red Pointer of the opponent of the Red Lotus. So you can see a bit of hand information, dump a monster so you have an attribute. So that's kind of cute. But the real effect I was looking for is the second effect, and that says you can look at your opponent's extra deck, send 1 card from it to the graveyard. And that's it. So if your opponent plays...
So that's Pride of the Plunder Patrol for you guys.
Yes. So if you play like against a Zexal deck, but like more of those in-engine that uses an other engine as well, they really tie it on the extra deck. So if you can just set this first turn and get the Zexal out of their extra deck before they do anything, like that pretty much means you have gotten rid of their most annoying card.
After extra decks.
Yeah. Like mostly they play like 8 to 9 engine cards for that engine. Exactly. And then it's all that now. So
or you had like a Hulk or Link Cross.
Or Hulk, Link Cross.
Discard, we don't play that. It's party.
It's party. Like it's in Archetype Phantasme, but like I said, like it's
not the best.
It's not the best in my opinion. Like this. So yeah, that's about that in that sense. That's kind of the philosophy I go with this thing. So
yeah.
So I guess we'll go into some technical play stuff now.
Yeah.
I'll grab some cards. Like one of the cute interactive plays. Like it's just more seeing how your cards work and interact with each other, and how you can get more value out of them. And like one of the hands that might seem like a bit weak-ish, but is actually really good is this kind. And where you have the field spell, a red beard, and a blue beard. So you don't have a white or a golden hair, which are your best Plunder monsters, but you have access to them. But we don't really want to use this card immediately to get access to that, in my opinion. How I would have seen people play out this hand, they would just activate it, discard the white beard, the blue beard, and get white beard or golden hair or booty, depending on their hands. Or that's not golden hair. That's.
Then you get white beard, you discard it, draw a card, and it gets ashed.
Yeah. So, like lots of options here. How I would play this hand is actually in the following. I would normal summon Redbeard, special on the Bluebeard, and then immediately link off for a summon of Blackbeard. this will of course create a chain link which we can manipulate, where we will use chaining 1 Bluebeard, discard the field spell, and chaining 2 Redbeard, equip itself. So this way this card cannot get ashed, that's really nice, and we make sure we have an equip card to a Plunder Patroll monster, so we can immediately set this back. So we
draw a random card.
Let's say we draw a hand trap, we draw a Phantasm. That's really nice there. So we can just then use the field spell effect, reset itself by adding the Plunder card back to your hand, and then we can use the field spell to, let's say, discard one of the hand traps that, or other card that we drew. That this is all situational. And add booty. Like, this is a really strong setup because it allows us to have like booty, which we want to play towards as fast as possible because it dictates the attributes in the way we want them, and still have a Plunder card in hand.
Yeah, and in this way you still have 2 cards in hand, so you didn't actually plus, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
Unlike with the first play that you kind of don't plus, you kind of nag a little bit.
Yeah,
especially if you get interrupted.
Yeah, so that's a line of play that I would have taken in this situation. And this is just like seeing how your cards interact with one another. Yeah. Also, like a real hard play. Like, this is a hand that I have sometimes like struggles with to navigate correctly. Is actually Golden Hair White. This card looks really strong. This looks strong. Like, we have the 2 best Plunder cards, but like it plays really weird because we can do normal summon. Golden Hair, summon El Mirage, use the effect, pitch the Whitebeard, summon this, and then summon of your Whitebeard. You're summoning a Redbeard, and then we link these 2 off into Blackbeard. Now, how much summons did we do?
5.
5.
That's the 5th summon.
That's the 5th summon, and we pretty much get destroyed here by Nibiru. Because if we don't have booty for follow-up play, we basically lost at this point.
Yeah, that's a pass turn.
That's a pass turn, and you just have to hope that your hand traps get you there if you have them. So this is a risky line of play, although it ends on 2 negations. So, and also another line of risky play with this hand would be using the hand effect of Golden Hair, discarding. And the reason for that being like really scary is because it loses to Ash. Because you will discard this and this will special summon itself. Then you activate Whitebeard and they will Ash it. And because this was special summon now, you cannot go into the El Mirage play you would normally do. So this is a real weird hand in that sense, where I kind of consider that almost the best place to just normal summon the Whitebeard and just keep the golden hand.
Or maybe just discard another card for the golden.
Oh yeah, just this is of course like
only 2 cards. Yeah, but
yeah, but this is what I was trying to say. Like, I cannot really give you combos. Like, it's all variable depending on your hand, depending on the match. So what's good. So yeah, in that sense, like, this is really
There's
hard.
a lot of times that the most obvious play maybe just is not the best. Like now, you see so much value from the hair and the Whitebeard. But
yeah.
You die to Nibiru, and there's no reason to die to Nibiru. It's maybe sometimes just better to discard one of the other good cards in your hand.
Yeah, but like, I think probably like the best play is actually just to keep this in hand, just discard one of the random cards, and just have the white or the Blackbeard with a random card discarded in your graveyard, and making sure that you have Blackbeard and Whitebeard in hand.
Yeah, because then you use Blackbeard's effect, discard Whitebeard, then you still have your Redbeard in your opponent's turn.
Yeah, you just start extending during your opponent's turn. So this is what I'm trying to say, by not always go blind for the value on your turn. See, like, if you can...
Yeah. If you get greedy and you get punished, the game is over.
The game is over, because everything is fair in this deck. Like, that's the thing. If you lose control in the game for even a turn, like, the game can be lost.
Yeah. However, there are some certain comeback abilities.
Yes, the deck has some comeback abilities, and it mainly has to do with the graveyard effects that you can freely trigger. And those cards are Golden Hair, Field Spell, and Golden Hair. Yep.
So your opponent just cleared your turn.
Yes.
You only have these cards in the grave, but you draw a card for turn.
We draw a card for turn, but we probably wouldn't be a good player, so we draw something that does not really do much. And Phantasme will be the card in this example.
Yeah, so you only have a Phantasme and those 3 cards in the graveyard.
Yes, but this is enough. We can make a comeback play from here, and that's by summoning the Golden Hair from the grave. We are locking ourselves into Plunder Patrol monsters, but that's no problem. We got a body on the field, and that's what we wanted. Because we now can use the second effect of the fusion spell to equip Whitebeard from our deck. And then we have something in our spell and trap zone, meaning we can reset the field spell, and we immediately have a good discard fodder for our field spell, meaning we can discard the Whitebeard.
And then a simplified game state. This is super insane.
Yeah. So let's say we want a Blackbeard, like you can get any Plunder card, you can get a booty, like at this point it's just free of your choice. We get the effect of the red, of the Whitebeard.
Summon something back.
Summon something
Make
back.
the black. Use the effect.
Use the black. So at this point we have basically our setup back where we want to be.
Exactly. And that's only from the 3 cards in grave and the 1 card for turn.
Yep. So in a really simplified game state, you can really get rid of your opponent's stuff. Another card that I didn't talk about is Bluebeard. Bluebeard is one of the actually really good Plunder Patrol cards, actually, because it's a card that allows us to filter our hand. It's a free special summon, making our extra deck monsters easier to make. But it's mostly good as the last discard in your disruption kind of place. Like if you would have said we only have, like say we have a Morgan, a Bran, and we use the effect of Bran, discarded a card, and got this, and now we use the effect of Morgan, discarding the Bluebeard and getting this, immediately getting off this, because like at this point your Plunder cards in hand don't really do that much, so it's probably better to discard it immediately off in the chance for hitting an hand trap. So even if that's what really makes this deck so hard to navigate against, because you think your opponent had, okay, I played to these 2, but now your hand is filled and they have to respect hand traps again. Yeah.
You open up so much game states for yourself that your opponent still isn't done playing around anything.
No.
Like with the Blackbeard, with anything, like they only have a Blackbeard, they use the effects, they summon a Bran or a Mork, and then you're like, what? If they drew a Plunder Patrol card, you just lose. But if they drew a hand trap, it's also really insane.
Yep. So that's really hard to get. Something else I want to talk about is certain matchups and how you want to navigate those matchups. And versus control decks, I'm looking mostly at Bran. And the reason for that is Bran is of course being able to get rid of their spells and traps is really annoying for that deck. But something that really is really hard for control decks to out is Bran equipped with an emblem. Imagine a Sky Striker player looking down at this.
How will they out it?
They will not out it. It's a 3k beater. They're playing 1500 attack control. They're looking against a card that's 3k by just from this setup and can easily become more with the field spell and all. And it's just so hard to out for them. The target prevention just really can get annoying for those decks. For example, Guru doesn't also have a hard time against this, although they can have the Human Strix with the final battle combo. So that can be kind of annoying if you do not get this card over 5k quick enough. But if this card is 5k and has this setup, the Guru player cannot out it.
I feel personally attacked, but you're correct. I remember playing against you with Guru Numeron, and you had this, and I was trying stuff, but then I saw the emblem and I was like, oh, I cannot out this.
No.
And then it was just done.
Yeah, you get, it's just, at that point the game's over. Also another card that's really good in a certain matchup, and why I think the Eldritch matchup is really favorable for Plunder is Mork. Hard summoning Mork in specific. because making sure that like all their cards need a Golden Lord to have effects. So the main disruptive play that they have is Conquistador, but Hard Summoning Morgue getting the Ding Girsu effect, and then an effect that gets rid of the Golden Lord, and it banishes. So it's not in the grave, like they have
no recovery.
Very no recovery from that. So an Hard Summon Morgue is like really hard for the deck to out, and like they can of course use the hand effect of the Lord, but that targets. So
yeah, you cannot target it.
If it has an emblem, meaning that this setup would even makes it really hard for that deck to get rid of this card, and you can just slowly keep on banishing their lords until there are no lords left, and you win.
Yeah, it's always scary when I play against you with the Eldritch deck, because every time you have like 2 plunders, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
This can end like really badly.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of want to talk about. Like, understand how your deck works and how you can use the tools that you have to get yourself in a kind of win condition. And these are like really good cards to do that. And which is also really why I think the Emancipator deck is just really hard to deal with. Outside from it being an Earth deck, there's no clear-cut win condition. This deck has to make sure that you can win that match. Because like Drakeite will just bounce it, so like Hard Summon Morgue will not do anything. They don't play a lot of spell and traps, so that's really iffy. Like Liz is really good against them, but like also to a certain extent, like it's not gonna win you a game just off one Liz.
There's no real answer. If you like have your booty and you Morgue their normal summon, they can extend, or if you list their researcher, they can extend, and if they just have Block Dragon, you still lose anyway. And
yeah.
It's so difficult.
Yeah, that's really difficult.
So that's pretty much it. I think we talked about everything we wanted to.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I thank you all for watching. I hope this gave a good and a lot of information that you can work with, and also for the formats to come. This is like a more generic thought I have on how to play the deck, and why I think combo is not the way to go. And you just want to stick it to like a kind of mid-range advantage deck.
Yeah. Don't forget, this deck is not casual. It's super hard to play.
Yep.
And it's definitely hard to master.
Yeah. Your cards are fair, like in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Like
don't get disencouraged.
No, like because you lose a game in the beginning. I lost lots of games in the beginning, but I start to pick up and understand matchups. But the cards are just really fair, and the moment you lose control of the game, even in for like a turn, like it can just be over, because like at that point you have no real way to come back. If you think, that's also something that helped me, is like just save your replays or think about how the duel went and playing it back, and just recognizing what could you have done differently to win, and you will find that mostly it comes down to technical play. Of course, there will be times that you get sacked, or the opponent just had everything, and you were like sitting there with like 3 copies of Ash and not doing really much. But most of the time, you will find a way or a line of play that you could have done to get yourself in a better position, and that could have just turned around the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So
that's the video. If you guys have any questions for me or Bruce, we will definitely be answering them in the comment section down below.
Yeah.
So if you have any Plunder Patrol related questions, no, we're not playing Savage. That's bad. No, we're not playing Hulk Synchro Combo. That's also bad. And I think that, if you have any other actual questions, be sure to let us know.
Yep.
So thank you, Bruce. Thank you very much. So I hope you guys liked it too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you again, Bruce, and we will see you in the next video.